welcome to our presentation. Our presentation topic is the multiracial society and ethics composition in Malaysia. This bit of the video will be the introduction and it will be presented by Alia and myself. Firstly, we'll be looking at the overall information about the history of Malaysia's ethnic composition. Malaysia is a multi-ethnic, multicultural and multilingual society, and the many ethnic groups in Malaysia maintain separate identities. The Society of Malaysia has been described as Asia in miniature. Three main ethnic groups include Malay, Chinese and Indians. The original culture of the area stemmed from its indigenous tribes, along with Malays who moved there in ancient times. Substantial influence exists from the Chinese and Indian cultures, dating back to when trade with those countries began. The incredible diversity of the Malaysian people is reflected in its cuisine, language, and culture. When looking at its food, Malaysia truly has one of the world's best. A fusion of indigenous Malay, Chinese, Indonesia, and India with lighter touches of the Dutch and the British. Its former rulers for the last 200 plus years. Some of the favorites include nasi lemak, laksa, and banana leaf. The rich culture of Malaysia is an embodiment of its ethnic groups, ranging from the Jogat dance from the Malacca Sultanate to the lion dance performed during Chinese New Year's, and the Bharata Natyam, the Tamil classical dance, are all but few examples of the diversified cultures of Malaysia. Next, we'll be looking at the ethnic Malays. Bumiputras make up 68.8% of the Malaysian population, divided into Muslim Malay proper, who make up the majority of the Malaysian population at 54.6%. The Proto-Malays are of Austronesian origin, who migrated to the Malay archipelago between 2500 and the 1500 BC. Since the first millennium, Malay became the dominant race on the peninsula. Next, we'll be talking about the Malaysian Chinese. The Malaysian Chinese are the second largest ethnic group, constituting 23% of the Malaysian population. Most are descendants of southern Chinese immigrants who arrived in Malaysia between the early 19th century and the mid-20th century. Most Malaysian Chinese are Buddhists, with minority being Christians.
Alright, now we will be talking about the ethnic group Malaysian Indian. The Indian community in Malaysia is one of the country's main ethnic group. Today, the Indian community accounts for about 7% of Malaysians' population. Most Indians in Malaysia speak Tamil Nadu, Kerala and others, while also speaking Telugu and Hindu. Historically speaking, Indian origin came to Malaysia as plantation labourers, and this remains the single largest group even today. Many were brought in by the British from South India and Sri Lanka during the 20th century to work as labourers in the tin mines and at rubber palm and tea plantations. Indian Malaysians have different beliefs, but most of them believe in the Hindu religion. Moving on, we have two main festivals celebrated by the Indian community, and one of them accounts for one major Malaysian festival, which is the Deepavali. Talking of the Indian in Malaysia, we also have the Indian Muslim community, which combine both local and Indian culture. There is about 500,000 of Indian Muslim in Malaysia. Next, we have the influence of the Indian culture on Malay cuisine. Indeed, spices used by Indians in the food makes it more tasty and well received not only by Malaysian but from all ethnic and religion background. Last but not least, we have the original people, the Orang Asli community, which accounts 7% of the population of Peninsular Malaysia. Majority of them live in the state of Pahang and Perak. They used to be referred as Sakai, that is slave, because prior to European colonization, the Orang Asli were captured and enslaved by Malays. Lastly, they perform ceremonies and festivals such as Tahun Mandi, that is baby blessing ceremony. Alright, that will be all from us. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so hello, my name is Nabila.
Hey, my name is Taro. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to know you. Do you mind to introduce yourself first?
So my name is Tarushan. I'm a final year student majoring in accounting and finance from the School of Business. The reason I'm here is to conduct an interview session regarding the cultures.
Hi, my name is Chanda. My name is Rafina. I'm from Semenye, and I'm currently studying in Sunway University. And my major is business studies, and my hobby is baking.
Oh, okay. Your
My
name.
name is Keying, and I'm currently studying for my BSc in psychology at Sunway Uni.
So, what is your definition of culture?
To me, it's a variety of people from different races and religion coming together to celebrate an occasion. So that to me is culture. Culture is learning about new events and learning about it's about different races coming together to form unity and celebrate things together. That's culture to me.
Culture is a tradition including art, belief, and institution of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. And also, like some cultures, place a significant value in things such as like ceremonials or artifacts, jewelry, or even like clothing. Like for example, we have like Christmas trees can be considered as ceremonial or culture objects. So that is my definition of like culture.
I personally perceive it as a way of how a group of people live their life, including their languages, food, values, belief, and it's passed on to their future generation.
Then, what is the most important or the most celebrated event of your culture?
In my culture, we celebrate Festival of Lights. It's called Diwali.
When is it?
It's celebrated on the October every year.
And like, can you explain how the event is going on in that day?
On that day, we have to light up the lamps around the house. So since it's Festival of Lights, we have to make sure our house is welcoming to guests, and then we have to do like a rice pattern. We have to ask forgiveness from our parents, and then we have to go to the temple to ask forgiveness from God. And then we wait for the time when our parents give us money, and then we indulge in Indian delicacies, and then we visit our relatives, and then we just spend time with family. That's what Festival of Lights is about.
Okay, I see.
So I'm actually half Malay and half Indian. So my favorite what event of my culture is during Diwali is kolam. So it is actually a form of tradition decoration art that is drawn by using rice flour, or sometimes my grandma will use like a shredded coconut, and then we will use like artificial like color powder, and then for the outline of the column we will draw using white stone powder or chalk. And then so usually my family will be doing the column a few days before before Diwali.
Oh, I see. So, do you like also practice the Hari Raya as well?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So during Hari Raya we'll celebrate Hari Raya. It is my mom's side, and Diwali is my father's side.
To me, the most important event would be the Chinese New Year, as it's kind of like a family reunion where our family members, including our relatives, get together and celebrate together.
When is it?
It falls on the first month of the Chinese calendar, like the normal New Year. Yeah, it's a 15-day festival.
Oh, okay. How can you explain like, how the event is like going on?
Just like I said, we celebrate with our family together. Then we have like traditional dance,
Oh, traditional.
like that lion dance. It's
Ah,
performed on the big occasions like CNY. Because people believe it that it could bring good fortune and chase away the evil spirits and create the festive atmosphere.
so is there any particular costume that you have to be like worn at that day?
Yes. So it's a Indian costume. Usually for the females, they wear something called sari,
Shari.
and for the guys they wear something called jipa. So that's what we wear.
So like for Hari Raya, usually baju kurung, and then for Deepavali, usually I will wear like Punjabi, or like last year I will wear lehenga. So basically, it is a Deepavali traditional dress. It is a crop top paired with a long dress. So it is so stunning. And for the guys, they will always wear like kurta or dhoti. So it is just like a simple shirt and a long pants.
Okay.
There isn't any particular costume that has to be worn, but we do have traditional costume for people that people would usually wear during CNY. For women's costume, it's called cheongsam, and for men, it's called tang duang or the tang suit. Cheongsam is like a fitting dress, and tang suit refers to the Chinese coat, a type of Chinese coat.
Is there like any like specific colors you have to wear? Like usually they wear the red color, right, which means like a good luck or something.
Good luck, yeah, good fortune. Because Chinese believe that red color is will bring good fortune.
Okay, so what about like the type of food is normally served or eaten during that day?
So usually on Diwali, what we think is muruku. That's a local delicacy, and
Any other?
what else do custard biscuits.
Custard biscuits. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's two important delicacies, and then rice cakes.
Rice
It's called idli. Yeah, tosai.
Dosai. Okay.
That's what we typically eat on festival lights.
Okay, so for Deepavali, so during the morning of Deepavali, my grandma will always like cook idli or thosai or like curry and so many more. But my favorite for Deepavali is the dessert. So Indian culture have so many types of dessert like muruku and other type of dessert lah. And my favorite one is son papdi, and it is so good. So usually when you buy it, wait, where is it? Okay, so usually when you buy it, it is a cube shape or maybe like served as a flake. It is and the texture is very like crepes and have like flaky texture. And traditionally, you will sold in loose or like roll paper cones. Yeah, it's so good. You guys have to try this.
Oh, also like what about food? The one do you think during Hari Raya? Do you guys eat the what is it? The
Rendang.
ice impit, is it? The nasi?
Nasi impit.
Ah.
Yeah, nasi impit, lemang, rendang, very classic one.
Usually we eat Chinese dumplings, then sweet rice cake, steamed fish and steamed food,
Okay.
chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any specific prayers or blessing that have to be done like that day on that day?
For Hari Raya, yes, in the morning we will go to the mosque, but for Deepavali, I'm not participating because not my religion, but my grandma, yes. So usually in the morning they will go to the quill and pray. Yeah, only in the morning, same as Hari Raya.
My family would visit the temple to light the incense and pray for blessings, good luck in the year. Yeah, for the upcoming year.
So do you think the celebration has changed over the time? Like how is it back then and how is it now?
I think it has changed now. Usually back then, in the 90s, we used to send greetings through like meetups, like in person. Now it's all done virtually.
Yeah.
Also, people even send money virtually now. So I still prefer handouts. I like cash handouts.
Okay.
And also during the pandemic, things have changed. So people have distanced themselves now. So we don't go to the temple anymore. We just pray at home, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay.
For my family, I don't think so. We have like changes over times. We still keep the same tradition.
So like back then like we used to like visit your family's house and stuff. Now like because of the pandemic, you have to like or you still like come to their house and celebrate.
For me, I think we still have the same tradition. Like nothing has changed.
All right.
Right.
For me, I feel like it doesn't really change lah. Everything is kind of same every year. We still celebrate it like how we used to celebrate in the past years.
What about like during the pandemic? Like it's hard to visit our friends' house, our other family's house. So like, do you guys still like call each other, or you guys still go to their
I
house and visit them?
I remember for last year we couldn't visit, we couldn't go back to our hometown, but then this year we could cause they open up the border already. So we do visit our hometown this year.
Oh, okay. Do you think like young people nowadays they still like have a sense of culture?
I think they do because culture improves their quality of life and increases the overall well-being for both the young people and the society as well.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. That's it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you
it.
for your time.
All right. Let me. So, what do you think? Like young people nowadays, are they like do they still have the sense of culture? Or, like are they still practicing it now?
I don't think the young people nowadays have practicing their cultures. Asia has been revolutionized by the Western culture, so the Asians tend to forget where they come from and they tend to diverge into other cultures. So I think it's important to preach this culture from a young age.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I do think that the young still have it, and I believe all the parents still taught their children about the culture. And also, like in the school, we do learn that a culture has the power to transform the entire societies and to strengthen the locals, the communities, and forge a sense of identity and belonging for the people of all ages. And as a vector of youth development and civic engagement, I know that young people believe culture plays an essential role in promoting sustainable social and economic development for the future generation.
Right.
That's a good answer. I didn't know that good. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you
it.
for your time.
All right. Let me.
Moving on, this is Mariam and I will be concluding this presentation with my groupmate Noura. Malaysia is a multicultural society with three most ethnic groups of Malay, Chinese, and Indian who practice their own language alongside Malay, the national language. The variety of culture has influenced Malaysia's cuisines, customs, cultural practices through diverse cultural intentions and technology such as virtual invitations. Based on the gathered information by our conducted interviews, the main festivals celebrated by the multiracial students are as followed. Chinese New Year, a 15-day festival with a traditional lion dance, taken for the Chinese people's belief that it chases away the evil spirits and brings prosperity. India's Diwali festival celebrates the victory of light over darkness by setting up candles and decorating their homes with oil lamps and rangolis. Lastly, Malaysia's Hari Raya celebration marks the end of Ramadan and it is celebrated by Malaysian Muslims and multicultural individuals. Now I will pass it to Noura.
Malaysian cuisine is as diverse as people who make it. There are popular dishes as ikan bakar, nasi kandar, roti canai, Hokkien mee, and etc. But truly the symbol of Malaysian food is considered to be nasi lemak. The most of the food in Malaysia is made of rice, as it is the most common side dish. Costumes in Malaysia are being worn only at special occasions. For example, Malay people wear Malay pakaian is the word for clothing in the official language. The traditional dress is different for males and females, and usually in bright and loud colors. As an example, for most of people from the Chinese community residing in Malaysia don't dress traditionally. However, during festivals, and especially the Chinese New Year, they are spotted in traditional outfits, which are usually bright red. Indian men in Malaysia wear kurta pajama. Kurta is typically a knee-length shirt. Most Indian women in Malaysia wear sari and blouse. And then lastly, I wanted to say that Malaysia has managed multiculturalism to maintain national integration among all cultural communities, besides maintaining their own original identities. Thank you.